Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this bonus clip, I will be sharing an impeccable method for jump-starting your metaphysical battery when you're feeling a little flat. Let's say the trauma of your situation has you in an emotional vice, and try as you might, you don't seem able to make any headway. Well, this technique, which takes about 2 minutes to complete, can be adapted by you and applied whenever you find yourself unable to push through the sort of psychological barrier that impedes your ability to perform your chosen technique of metaphysical prayer. So before I begin, I have to say thank you everyone for your support. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. There's a great community forming, and also share this content with anyone you feel might benefit from it. You're of course always welcome to ask questions about this upload below or contact me via my website contact form. The link is in the description box. So let me give you an example of the type of barrier I'm referring to. My husband is supporting a number of people right now. Everybody's going through it. He's paying rent for a number of people, he's supporting someone's business, and he's taking care of his own business and our family. And so he really has a lot on. So recently we were faced with unexpected expenses, and I got worried because of how many people, the sheer number of people relying on us at the moment. So I was really stressed out for about 3 days, feeling absolutely hopeless, which might seem strange to some of you. And as I say, this went on for about 3 days. I was feeling terrible, really awful, before I finally relented and decided to listen to the voice telling me that I knew what to do. So I created space within myself, and I'm about to tell you how you can do that too. And then in that space, I evoked the feeling of financial abundance. The point I'm making here is that I had to create space first. Sometimes we're able to go straight for the technique, straight for what we want, but sometimes we need to create that space, and this is what this upload is all about. So I did that, and then I evoked the feeling of financial abundance, as I said. And the very next day, I received an email asking that I do some additional work on a contract that I have, and I received advanced payment for that work, which more than met our immediate needs. So I'm talking about what I have experienced. I'm talking about what I know, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. When we want to get to the feeling of, let's say, abundance while we're confronted by lack, it can feel impossible. It appears impossible to the human perspective, but God consciousness knows that all things are possible. Our ability to access what we need is predicated upon our ability to move past the arguments of our human thoughts. Before we get to the technique, however, there are 3 things I'd like you to always bear in mind. Number 1, when it comes to changing your circumstances, you are not bringing anything toward yourself or attempting to change your present situation in any way. If you think you're going to be able to make the situation you are in better somehow, you're going to stay as you are. Change comes when you move through the rearrangement of your mind from one state of consciousness to another. We're moving to the state where what we want or what you need has its natural life. We have no authority to alter a state of consciousness. We have to leave it alone and live elsewhere. Number 2, our feelings of anxiety or frustration are a signal that we are rejecting the solution to the problem being transmitted to us, whereas a feeling of relief or exuberance indicates acceptance. And 3, there is no superior being on the outside of ourselves who can or will assist us. Our ability to make progress is directly proportional to the confidence we have in our own creative ability, not human skill, but our capacity to emote deliberatively. So to break free of any emotional charge so that you're able to change your psychological state and thereby your life, you can do the following. First of all, evoke a feeling of happy expectation. And I've said in previous uploads that you can do this by recalling an event that went well for you, something that had a happy outcome. Just remember how you felt then. And if you're having any difficulty because of the stress or whatever, tell yourself that you're doing this solely for the purpose of the exercise and your body and any resistance. that you have, that your body's throwing up, your body should acquiesce to that. Okay. Next, complete a cycle of breaths, and with your eyes closed, smile, and then notice the turmoil you're in, but don't resist it. Then I want you to picture yourself at the entrance of a long, dark corridor that leads into a large stone wall. So the entrance of the corridor is in a large stone wall, and this wall is so big that you can't find its edges. The corridor, you notice, is filled with large, dark, malevolent looking orbs or dark masses of indeterminate shape. You can see them moving. Then walk into the corridor and begin to walk along it. And as you do, you can feel these dark masses jostling you. Now, you might feel your physical body being moved gently while you're in this meditation. That's perfectly okay. You might also hear sounds like grunts or even voices, low murmuring voices. That's also perfectly fine. It really does depend on how deep you've gone, but if you don't hear those, don't worry. And as you walk along, I want you to say something like, "That's fine," or "I can hear you," or "No problem." So what you're doing is acknowledging the energy that surrounds you. So you can choose the words, but just acknowledge without paying attention to the energy that surrounds you. Continue walking through the corridor, and before you know it, you'll come to the end of it. And what you'll realize at the end of it is that beneath you is a sheer drop. So then look down and see clouds. That's how high up you are, but you will not be able to see the ground. And while you're looking down through the clouds, become aware of your dimensionally greater self standing behind you. So feel it very close behind you. You can place your dimensionally greater hands on your shoulders, or feel hands on your shoulders. So just be present with that for a moment, and when you're ready, say, "I trust you. I trust you. I trust you." At this point, you can turn to face the corridor, so that means your back is to the sheer drop behind you, or you can continue facing forwards. But having said, "I trust you," and feeling that trust connection, you're going to fall into the unknown space. And just allow yourself to fall. You don't need to control anything at this point. What you feel as you fall is signaling the status of the connection between your human aspect and your dimensionally greater self. So if you tighten up, relax, and when you have fallen far enough, you will reach the ground and be lowered onto the ground as delicately as a newborn baby. That happens if you stay relaxed. If you remain tense, you will hit the ground hard, or even smash, depending on how tense you are. So if that happens, if you don't hit the ground gently, just start the process again. And then in this meditation, stand up and take a deep breath. In the physical world, you're going to revive yourself. And in this expanded state, you're now free to use any technique of prayer to address your issue. Or you may want to just continue your day as normal, enjoying the freedom you now feel. Okay, so this exercise creates the space you need to address the issue you're facing metaphysically. And just to mention, you can do this before you sleep as well if you find it tricky to cultivate a positive mood before you sleep. Remember, it's really important to check the mood that you're going to sleep in, because this plays a very important role too. So use this technique if you're under a great deal of pressure and you find you can't relax. All you have to do is enjoy the benefits of this exercise of creating this kind of expansion in yourself. You have no responsibility to make things happen, but the whole thing does take some adjusting to. And this technique will certainly help you do that. Okay, so that's all for now. As I say, please submit any questions below or contact me via my website. Try the technique, let me know how you get on. Your results and testimonials and things really inspire others. Thank you again for listening. This has been an original Kate Jaggetti technology and presentation. Until next time, stay phenomenally you.